All right, everyone. Welcome to the British Columbia Real Estate Podcast, episode number 12, Jeff, is it? 12, right? Just double checking. In the studios, in the studio/office with Jeff, Chadha, JC Holmes. How's it going, Jeff? What's going on this episode?
Well, I don't know. You called me this morning. You're like, let's make an episode. And I'm like, let's do it.
Okay, that's how we do it here, guys. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you want to learn all about living in British Columbia. Of course, smash that thumbs up button. Helps with the algorithm. Helps us share this video to other people on YouTube. All right?
While you're doing that, one quick second.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, I'm just in the middle of something here. But can I give you a call back? I just want to set an inspection date. But I'll call you back in, say, about 20 minutes. Okay, bye.
Business never sleeps, guys. There you go. All right? This is always working, even during the middle of a video here.
Well, at least it's somebody didn't pause the video.
That's
right. So
we might have to edit it. We'll see what's going on. We might just leave it in there. Okay, Jeff. So today's episode, I wanted to ask you about, some tips and some maybe possible advice or things along those lines regarding staging a home prior to selling a home.
Okay. It's a little different.
Mm-hmm. Sure. A little different episode for you guys today. Some educational, bringing you guys more value.
What, are you saying I don't bring value before? Or are you saying
more value this episode. This is a little different.
So are you saying I provide less value before?
Well, no. We're not comparing previous episodes to this. We're just saying, in general. We tried, guys. We tried.
So, okay, staging. So obviously that's going to go on. Before, we mostly have been talking about the whole buying processes and buying. So now I think this is the first time we're talking about on the sales process more side now, right?
Yes, besides seller's market videos.
Right.
Yep.
So, sure. So what exactly a question do you have about staging? I mean, staging, there's a lot about it. So
we'll try making this as short and sweet as possible here and to the point. But I wanted to know, prior to selling a home, what are some things that might you want to take into consideration that other people wouldn't? Like, let's say somebody who's living in a home looking to sell, they're so used to living in that home that they might not kind of see something that a potential buyer might be like a turnoff for them, in their home. Like, let's say maybe something that's too cluttered in one area, but they're so used to seeing it in that area because they're living there at their home. They see it every day, but it might just be an eyesore for a potential buyer who's walking through the home who might be wanting to buy. It might just turn them off. It might be something simple, right? It might be something super simple, but I mean, just some things to consider maybe, like, I know decluttering is a huge thing, right?
It is.
Right.
So let's start from the basics of it. Mm-hmm. Now, staging, there's different aspects, right? There's staging a vacant property that no one lives in, and then there's staging how you were just talking about someone living in the property and they got used to the way it is, so they might not see a world of hurt type of thing. They shouldn't have that fridge there. They shouldn't have those flowers there. Believe it or not, they shouldn't have their dirty underwear just bloody lying around. I've seen stories.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you some stories later on too.
So there's different forms of staging. Now, if it's a vacant property, right, then it really depends on the sales marketing strategy you and your agent have talked about prior. In a hot market like today, do you really need staging? You might not, because everything's going so fast. The whole point is to have your home stand out over someone else's, right? Now, during obviously this pandemic that's still going on, a lot of people are now going to be shying away again because the whole mask mandate is going to happen again from doing showings in person. Mm-hmm. So that's going to make online presence so much more important. So with that being said, there are companies out there that do virtual staging. So you don't actually have to get a sofa there. Companies can actually put it in. We do that for some of our listings, right? So that way it does give the opportunity for the prospective buyers, whether they're here or maybe a few hours away and they can't really drive down, to at least have an idea what it potentially could look like with this type of furniture in there. Yeah. Virtual staging is a whole lot cheaper than actually physically staging it, right?
Yeah, I read about that recently too, about the whole virtual staging, how they found that most people will check with the property online, like something like upwards of 49%.
It's huge now.
That's huge.
It's huge.
Like,
it's huge. It would be idiotic to ignore the online presence. right? That, I mean, hell, we're online right now.
Yeah, and, well, of course, and COVID
Right.
just ramped that up.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are pros and cons to it. Now let's just talk about the more traditional form of staging, where actually having a staging company come in, put in, sofas, beds, all that kind of stuff to make it look like a very nice home. And these staging companies do a great job. I've seen some very beautiful staging, right? Well, with that being said, it usually comes with a price tag, right?
That's-
A lot of different staging companies charge a lot of different rates. Now, depending on the client and the realtor, who pays for the staging? Could it be the realtor? Could it be the owner? Could it be maybe both of them, right? Sometimes realtors do a deal where I'll pay for the first month, but then if it doesn't sell the first month, then you carry it on, right? Because
Yeah.
staging can get quite expensive.
Especially professionals, right? If you're hiring some professional,
Yeah,
probably gonna
I
charge
mean,
$12.
staging could be a start. Just for the first month, it could be $2,500 and 1,000 months going forward for every month that's in there. So it gets to be quite pricey. So that's just something that you would have to work out with you and your agent. Myself, I'm not too big of a fan of staging, but I like the reason why I'll combine it with a virtual stage and it just being empty. So then I can now use my creative side to illustrate what I think we can do in the home. Every client is different. Some client, for instance, if I have a client who loves to entertain and have a big vacant room, well, I might not fill it up with furniture. I might have a pool table in there.
Karaoke.
And karaoke. So we'll show the illusion of what this would look like here, and that's the beauty of digital staging, is that I can add different things. Right, so that's one of the pros there. The con is it actually physically not there. So when you go to physically see it, it's not there. But we can show them with pictures, right? With the physical staging, the pro, it's there. But then that's all that's there, right? Yeah. So if you don't get a good staging company or don't do it properly, sometimes the buyers don't have that creative mind frame where they can put anything else in here, and that's all that's there. That's it. They're locked in, and they'll remember that yellow sofa, in that room. So there's pros and cons on both sides of it. Some homes that are, have a very hefty price tag, they may require a good staging job in it.
That's what I wanted to ask you as well. Same with having many homes in the same block or street, right? You'd want to differentiate yourself from other homes and also give it more curbside appeal, right?
Well, curb appeal, that's important too. Sure, your grass is not cut and the flowers are all dead in front of your property. That's the first point of interest. It's first impressions mean a lot. And your thing looks like, then it's people are going to have that impression going in, and the worst part about it is they're going to have that impression when they leave too. But that's the first and last thing they're going to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It'll be implemented into their mind.
The outside of your home is just as important, if not more, than the inside. Right. A little bit on point, but off point. We saw a home with a client about 2 weeks ago. Pictures looked fantastic.
Yeah.
The house itself, not so much when we went there. But when we talked about, the first impressions mean a lot. When we got to the front entrance of the home, I'm talking about the door is right here. Right to the side, there was actually a beehive embedded into the wall, and so bees are coming out of the wall right where the door is.
Oh my.
And that was the only thing we could think about now.
Yeah.
Right? Going in and out of the home, there was a beehive there. Could the owners have, and it was a $2 million home. Could the owners not have at least got rid of that prior?
Vacuum it up or something.
Something. You have people coming in, let alone the legal responsibilities of that, right? If we got stung, it's on their property, even though we're invited. It's still, the owners still have a standard duty of care to basically protect anybody on their property.
A massive pollen allergy or something.
Anything,
right?
yeah, right. And even, we'll talk about this when we get to the winter months about keeping your driveway clean and clear from the snow and all that, because if someone walks and slips, it's on you.
Well, I know a lot about that coming from Quesnel. Lots of snow out there, guys. But also, like I've heard, even putting something as simple as, a lot of people say, fresh lemons around like the coffee table.
Right,
and, fresh plants.
Well, yeah. So
just some tips I picked up on.
Well, yeah. So that's all to heighten the senses, right? I mean, the old school one was freshly baked cookies.
Was it?
Right. Now they have candles that you light those and they smell like that,
Scented
right?
candles.
But that was an old school technique that you bake freshly cooked cookies. And you have that smell, but that all goes into the. It shows the importance of sensory, right? That was all about smell, right? There's a reason why if you drive through like some fast food restaurants and all that kind of stuff, their exhaust blows out and you have that smell.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it drags you in because it's sensory. It's a huge part of real estate as well.
Especially McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's hilarious.
So
I didn't even think of that.
yeah, so lemons, potpourri, cookie, that's all part of it as well.
My favorite.
But get back to the point of do some properties deserve staging and some don't? How do you differentiate, right? I've seen some condos that were $300,000-$400,000 and they were nicely staged, right? I've seen some homes that were $1.5 million not staged, right? So it depends on the market as well, and your agent and everybody involved, and how many other properties are just like that selling, right? So, I mean, overall, is staging important? Yeah, it can be, but it all depends on the agent you hire. Like I said, I prefer it sometimes not being staged, because I can sell the illusion of whatever I want to sell. Not all buyers are the same, so not all buyers are going to like, for instance, that yellow sofa sitting there. So why are we making it permanent for everybody? That's why I like the whole digital staging aspect, right? Use the technology we have to help with that property.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't no two properties are the same. No two buyers are usually the same, right? So that's why usually I like to differentiate my sales process when we list properties. That's really about it, Rick. I mean, staging, it is important, but it all depends on the market, the property, the client, the realtor. What I would recommend, and we say this all the time, call me, but go over a plan with your agent, and what the expectations are, what you think is going to happen, all these things. But sometimes if you have the property vacant and it's been sitting vacant for 3 months, not staged, and not even digitally staged, I can see how sellers can get upset and say, how come my home's not sold yet and the other one down the street sold?
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So, I'm not going to say staging is for everybody. I would say it's property dependent, agent dependent, client dependent, right? What you guys come to an agreement about. We've sold properties that were 2 million, 3 million plus without staging, right? But then again, we go there, we show it, we if you're buying a $200,000 car, you expect the salesman to show you every nook and cranny about the car. Why wouldn't you do that for the house, right? So yeah, staging can have a big impact.
Okay. And then in terms of, it's hard to say, right? I'd be like selling faster than a home that's not staged. It's kind of hard to guide that, right? Like
yeah, and I mean, if you go to like any website and type in pros cons staging, they'll say it sells typically faster.
Yeah, typically, right?
right?
It's kind of hard to base it upon market to market.
And
right?
and typically, could it sell faster? Yeah, it could. But was it the staging that made it sell faster, or was it the hype around it? Was it the market? There's so many factors to go around it, right? If there's 3 houses in a row, and all of them are the exact same kind of thing, and they're all priced the same, would yours being a staged one 100% mean it'll sell faster? No.
Oh, but maybe.
it could,
Yeah,
but you can't say 100% to that.
That's true.
Right? There's some homes that without staging. But like I said, sometimes if you put the right stage in there, or staging stuff in there, it might appeal to some, but it might actually turn off some people. Right?
True.
So it all depending. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I'm not saying that it has to be done, right? If you can afford it, great, right? Are there other means that are more cost effective that might have a bigger influence? Yeah, right? Hence digital staging, right?
Yeah.
You can change it up. I mean, you can say we can make a room instead of a theater room. You can have it showing as a library.
Might be more appealing to certain people.
It might. It shows a diversity in that room. At a much cheaper price, and this was from really, really good staging, online staging companies out there. that you can't even tell it looks like a digital staged.
Oh, what technology these days? I
Oh,
can
yeah.
only imagine. what
Yeah,
it's
no.
like, right? I haven't seen it myself, but
Right. I mean, with the other home we sold in Richmond, we did digital stage, and we did like a few different pictures for the room, how this angle would look here, how it would look here, right? So I can't say that it's going to help make your home sell faster, right? But like I said, there's so many various factors that depend.
it's hard over this podcast to kind of demonstrate some stuff regarding the whole staging process, but in the future we'll definitely do an episode where we're actually live in a home, kind of demonstrating, hey,
Yeah,
maybe
well,
this is
I mean,
decluttering, some lighting
like for instance, like let's just say this is physically here right now, right?
Yeah.
And you hate the color blue, but now since that's physically there, that'll always bloody be there, right?
That's true.
But if I digitally put it, I can change this to this digitally. It'll look exactly the same,
Yeah.
right? Now, I now that I said this and this, our podcast listeners might not know what I'm doing. I'm changing a cup that's a blue cup on my desk that's physically there, and then change it with a Rockstar energy drink, a red one, and saying that the Rockstar energy drink was a digital copy. But the point of that is that we can change it, right? So like I said, there are pros and cons, definitely, into staging. And there's a lot of websites that discuss this as well.
I would say it's definitely more beneficial to do it nowadays, especially during COVID. Maybe some people might not, want to go to every other house in person and just check it out online, right? As you say, BC made mask mandatory again today, starting, right?
Oh, was it today?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's today. We'll double check on that, guys.
Paul Monday.
This is how planned we are here.
New mandate comes in effect Wednesday. Yeah.
It's Wednesday. There you go.
Yeah.
It's the 25th today. So reinstated today. Hopefully this thing can get cleared up. But I guess from the weekend there was something of 1,700.
Oh yeah, numbers are rising again.
So we got to be careful, guys. I know I'm not wearing my mask right now, but I usually do 99% of the time, except for these podcasts, because you guys, it's gonna affect the audio, right?
Yeah.
But
we're risking ourselves for you guys.
Exactly. Oh, talk about risking ourselves. The Hastings video that's coming.
You're not talking about shooting naked people again, are you?
No. This is much more serious than that. But there was an attempt. I went to actually shoot the Hastings video. I got amazing footage. It was great. The SD card, we had an error when I was uploading it. It was my nephew's GoPro camera, and lost all the footage. It was pretty intense, I would say. Some guy got in my face because he thought I was maybe recording him doing a transaction, but I was actually stuck between two people and I couldn't move anywhere.
Well,
with the camera on my head.
It's quite easy for you to say that, hey, this happened, that happened, when you don't have the tape to prove that happened. I can say the same thing. There was a video of me, saving a bunch of people from a burning car, but the video wasn't there. But trust me, it happened.
I got the audio recorded. The audio was recorded separate, but you know what? I'm going back to shoot again very soon, within the next 2 weeks. I think it might be one of our most viewed episodes once it gets posted, but definitely watch out for that. Any last tidbits, anything, any last pieces?
Nothing really. I mean, if we're talking about staging on this video, it doesn't need to be so overly talked about. It is what it is. Can staging help? Yes. Curve appeal important? 100% curve appeal is important, right? Can you do staging on a budget? Right? Yeah, digital staging, right? If you want that more traditional approach, yeah, you can do that as well. Costs a little more, right? There's pros and cons to it, right? Like I said, quickly the pros to it, it's physically there. You can see it, you can touch it when the people are there. I wouldn't recommend touching nowadays, but still, you get what I'm saying. It's physically actually there, right? The cons of it, it's physically there. Maybe the buyers can't see beyond that, right? And the cost is there. Digital staging, you can change it multiple times, right? It's much more cost effective, but the con of it, it's not physically there, right?
Just in case they come and check in person.
But I do say that there is pros and cons to both of them, right? End of the day, it really comes down to the sales and the marketing plan you and your agent have gone over. So,
perfect.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
And there you have it, guys. If you're thinking about moving anywhere in British Columbia or to British Columbia, the number will be down below. We obviously got your back. If you're thinking about moving anywhere to or and in and around British Columbia, Canada, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, guys, if you want to learn about beautiful British Columbia and living here, because it's great, minus all the COVID stuff that's going on everywhere. I hope everything gets better. seen some rain this week during the heat wave thing going on. If you guys like hot weather.
Now it just seems like you're just trying to drag on the video. What, we're over our time or something? Like, I mean, we're
trying to make the video longer, guys.
By talking about the weather and rain, we're talking about staging.
Trying to give you guys.
See, this is what I gotta deal with when he comes here, right?
I go off on a tangent once you guys let me here. That's no problem, guys. Okay, but this is episode number 12. We're signing out. British Columbia Real Estate Podcast. Otherwise, I'll keep yapping it. Right? Okay, guys. We're out.
Catch you later.
Peace.